Welcome back to Demon Slayer Anime Review, special number 5, I believe. Excuse me. This one I'm viewing the current arc of the manga, the Infinite Fortress arc, an arc that's still going on. It's going for over a year now. It is currently 56 chapters in right now. Yes, this arc is really long, but it does tie up a couple loose ends from the series, and the way this arc feels as though it could be the final arc of the series, but I've never heard any confirmation about it. This could be the final arc. It's just basically something that the series has been building toward for a long time. Who knows? We might actually get a new threat after this. I mean, it seems kind of similar to that what happened with the reincarnation arc for Black Clover. You had this big epic brawl, and fighting up to what you think is the main villain of the series, and of course the main character fighting him. And this kind of same thing happened with One Piece, and I believe it was like Blue Exorcist and a few other ones. Yeah, this is something basically for a while. Yes, the arc starts off with pretty much where the last arc ended. We have the main villain of the series showing up at the house of the head of the Demon Slayer Corps. Yep, and of course later everybody sees him. Of course, by chapter 140, all the pillars, including Toshiro, Indro, and Zenosuke, get a chance to go to his infinite fortress. Yeah, they actually go here for the first time ever in the series. We actually have characters. Now, the last usually exception one. Generally, like a lot of the time, this fortress been seen has basically been in flashbacks. The only other time, basically, that this fortress ever make a physical appearance was actually, and I kid you not, in the retraining arc. Yeah, that was the last time officially that this particular fortress made an appearance. Because a lot of the airtime after that, it was mostly flashbacks of whoever the demon was, the main villain of a particular arc, basically meeting with Majin, the main villain of the series, at his base for some like they're promising him something, stuff like that, and of course the demon gets killed in the very same arc. That's been a recurring thread of the whole series, and we actually have the characters, and of course they get separated. Yep, and there's like several different battles happening throughout this whole thing. The Thunder Pillar gets a chance to take on his teacher's former student, and it looks like he actually beats him. Yeah, this is by far the quickest of all the battles. Yeah, and also they do kind of the strange thing to do the same thing with they did with the Black Clover series with Reincarnation, where they have like one fight in one chapter, and then start another fight in one chapter, and then of course they go back and forth all over the place. My guess is the anime might put this in proper order. That's my personal guess. Whenever they get to this particular arc, yes. We also have the Insect Pillar taking on the demon. She finds the demon who killed her sister, and apparently it was planned for her to get eaten by him. That's not a joke. And then her student, who battles him for a little while, is like tells him, I'm the person you ate, his younger sister. And of course he remembers the other sister, or the older one, because he ate her. Well, actually, he was in the middle of eating her, but he wasn't a chance to finish. Yeah, and because the flower breathing technique, that's how they kind of knew. And basically, we have Zenosuke shows up, like in the middle of the battle, it's like this awesome, he just plows to the ceiling because he has a sense to get lost a lot of the time. He's basically a character who has a terrible sense of direction. Why do you think he think of the main character? Because with him, basically, he has a pretty good idea where he's going. Because, well, he wears that boar's mask. And also, it turns out, though, that this demon was also responsible for killing his mother. So he's like, because initially he denied the fact he had a mother because he was raised by boars. And then when he found out that it was actually true, he did have an actual mother, he got mad. And the fact he was touching his boar's mask. Yeah. So he and the student of the insect pillar, I keep forgetting the woman's name. They team up and they defeat the pillar. They not they defeat the demon. Yeah, he gets pretty much sliced up, and then pretty much like he of course gets wounded seriously in battle, but he tries to. Of course, Totoro finds him later, and he's cauterizing his wound with his sword. Okay, yep. The Stone Pillar gets a chance to participate in fighting. Yeah, he fights his own demon for about a few chapters, and then he's killed off. And this is by far the only battle that's not like does not take a break for a few chapters before they come back to it. Yeah, it's the only fight aside from the fight, aside from the final fight, aside from the current fight they have right now, which has been going on now for about 6 chapters right now, which I'll get to that. As for Tojiro, he pretty much says to the main villain, Majin, he tells him like, "I will kill you no matter what it takes," and he's like, "Go for it. See if I care." And what is his sister up to? Hanging out with his teacher. Basically, just sleeping. Yeah, she's been a lot of time sleeping this whole arc. He's been sleeping since the end of the Swordsman training arc. And there are hints, basically, she, like, there's also the demon doctor who Tojo first met in the Asakusa arc. Yeah, she makes a return in this one. Yeah, and she fights Majin, and she kind of loses, but she's still alive. It's not clear exactly what happened to her. It's like she fights him briefly for a few chapters, and then the fight just stops, and he goes off to fight Tojiro for the current chapters. Yeah, apparently he gets sort of a change, and he becomes completely different in ways picked before, where he's got like much more much more like veins hanging out of him. Yeah, it's particularly very weird. And Tojiro at one point actually dies. And then he has sort of a dream sequence that lasts for a couple chapters, and then he gets up. There's even a chapter called "The World with No Smell" because he's got a good sense of smell. That's actually not to his specialty, his sense of smell. And he gets up, and then somehow the fight gets out of the fortress and spreads out to a nearby city. Yeah, I don't know what city this is, and they continue fighting, also doing some damage to the buildings themselves. Yeah, the Demon Slayer Corps doing damage. Well, actually, this is more like Majin basically doing a lot of damage to cities. I wonder how his family feels. Well, here's kind of the strange thing about his family, his human family he has. Since the Asakusa arc, this family has not made an appearance since that particular arc. I don't know if the writer kind of forgot about them, but it's kind of weird the fact he didn't mention them at all. Matter of fact, Majin doesn't even mention his family at all the entirety of the series after that one arc. It's like he just completely forgot about it, just basically just a cover identity for himself. Yep. The love pillars in this arc, she doesn't do very much aside from get injured. I'm hoping that the writer does not kill her off because out of all the pillars, aside from the water pillar, which I think it's implied he kind of died, but the love pillar is one I do not want to see die because I think she's a great character. And I hope Tojiro gets a chance to reunite with her because I love these two chemistry because ever since they first interacted with each other in the Swordsman Village arc, their chemistry has been so good. And it's one of my favorite character interactions of the entire series between these two. Yeah, she's a slightly older woman than slightly older than he is, but it's like these two are great together. Would I see these two as a couple? I'm not sure about that. It seems as though there was hints that he might hook up with one of the swordswoman who actually works for the Insect Pillar, who was with him during the final what was it? It was yeah, it could have been her he connected up with, but who knows basically because he does not have a love interest in the series. Unlike a lot of the series I read, he does not have a love interest. It's like he just not have interest at all. I mean, if you look at Bleach, I mean, some might say that Ichigo didn't have a thing for Orihime, and all of a sudden, time skip. Oh yeah, they're married now. But in the case of that, there was hints. Heck, it was even established in the first light novel that came after the series ended that Ichigo does have feelings for Orihime, and it's kind of plainly expressed in like right after that particular story. But in the case of this, I kind of wish that he would hook up with some woman in this series, not his sister. No, that'd be stupid. Now, his sister, basically, the only character I could possibly hook up with is maybe Sanosuke, because I think he's serious about her, but it all depends exactly what's going to happen with the series after this arc is over with. And the most recent chapter came out where Tojo got seriously injured in his face, and it's implied maybe turned into a demon. Also, there's a demon who teams up with the Love Pillar. I'm glad if actually got killed off. And it's implied she may be falling for this guy who's a demon, but he's turning against the main villain of the series. Second time they've actually done that. Yep. And as for the head of Demon Corps, it's implied he's died, but it's not thoroughly clear from what I can tell from the manga. I mean, yes, this is basically summarizing 56 chapters. But I'm doing the best I can with this. Yeah. And that's all I can think of, basically, that's happened. I like the fact that all the pillars get a chance to do something this whole arc. Excuse me. Heck, even the brother of that one guy who Thrax trained, not to go to the start of the training arc, he got a chance to do something. He did some fighting, too. He took out one of the demons. I would say with this particular arc that I would say a majority of the moon demons, basically, are the moons that basically the main villain's henchmen. I would say about almost all of them eliminated by the most recent chapter, and the main villain's the only one left. It's kind of similar what happened with the Ten Commandments. Like, by the time they end the series, almost all of them eliminated at some point. Yeah. And it's kind of the same thing with this one's like, okay, we're running out of, like, we kill off all the henchmen, all of us is the main villain of the series, and that's pretty much it. I mean, how far do I think I can see this particular fight lasting for? I'm not sure, but I would not be surprised if this year, basically, right now the series is only like 9 chapters away from hitting chapter 200. And, yeah. But not much else to say about this particular arc, except that it's really good, and I do recommend reading it. But I would, if you read the Demon Slayer manga, start from the beginning, go from there up until the most recent arc, or you can basically just, if you don't want to read the arcs that were adapted for the anime, you can read if you want to, and you can just start with the Demon Train arc. You can pick up exactly where the anime left off, read that particular arc that's going to be adapted for the movie. It's supposedly going to come out this summer, from what I heard. Yes. And then go from, like, that point forward. Now, the reason why I didn't cover the Demon Train arc is because it's going to be adapted for the film, and I'll say my thoughts on that particular arc for that film. And that's the only reason why I started with the Red Light District, was because that's the arc that came right after that. But in the case of these arcs overall, they're all really good. I mean, this is only like the 4th arc I reviewed for the series, and it's really good. No really bad stuff happens. Like, nothing really terrible. I mean, that's one thing you can say good about this particular series. That, for all the chapters I've read, there's not been a single bad chapter to release for this entire series. I mean, the flashbacks that with Tojiro in his illusion state, they only lasted for a couple chapters, but aside from that, I like the fact we actually were sort of tying up some loose ends. Like, even though, yes, another pillar died, first one since what happened, Demon Train, and I'm surprised it was that one. There was only 2 female pillars of the pillars of Demon Corps, and they killed off the insect one. I thought that was kind of weird, and the fact she actually planned to have herself get eaten, and the reason is she injected herself with some kind of poison so he can eat her, and then basically avenge her sister's death. Of course, I like the fact that Ejigaro get a chance to basically be a demon as well for killing his mother. Yeah, I thought that was really good. That was kind of unexpected to reveal. Now, they kind of hinted about the whole thing of him having a parent. They hinted that as far back as the Demon Forest arc. It was like, the Najigon Mountain. Yes, they've hinted at that far back. Yeah, which was the second last arc they aired for the anime. They've hinted that far back that he had like a parent, and they show his mother in the anime, but nothing much was done with that. And then all of a sudden now we feel, oh yeah, the demon that killed the insect pillar's older sister killed his mother, so he has equal reason to kill him. Oh yeah, he also pointed out though Before he died, he pointed out that Inosuke and his mother had the same exact face. I'm like, so that's the reason why he has the face of a woman. Yeah. It's quite interesting though that it's like that. But aside from that, this is a really good story arc, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next chapter. It comes out next week. Yep. What rank do I get this particular arc so far? Of the chapters released, I give this arc roughly a 9 out of 10. It is really good. Despite the fact it is the longest arc of the entire damn series. I mean, the only reason I was able to review it was because, well, I had access to the Weekly Shonen Jump app that I have on my phone. That's how I was able to read this entire arc. And yes, now I still have pretty much this is now. So that's it for this particular video. Now I'm gonna do 2 more videos for the moment, and then I'm gonna do I'm gonna watch news episode One Piece today. That's still gonna happen. And Boruto. My next videos are gonna be a review of news chapter for My Hero Academia and a comic corner. Yes, a comic corner. Okay. I'll do this next few. Bye.